Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you saw by the title, this is my first how-to in my how-to series. It is how to get a flawless foundation routine, how to get a flawless base, anything like that, something like that. How to get flawless foundation, anything along those lines. I kind of really want to focus this video on the base of your makeup. So I'm starting every month. It was one of my New Year's goals to do a how-to every single month, at least one. And so this month, obviously this is this video, but we have a new intro, we have a new, it's gonna be a whole thing. And so I'm really excited about it. I feel like it could be so beneficial to some people. I know a lot of people aren't gonna watch these videos, but I just have to tell myself, just do it anyway, because you'll help the one. You can help somebody out there do their makeup. So I'm really excited about it, and we are gonna go super in depth, so I don't want this video to take too long. So without further ado, let's just get started. Definitely comment down below if you'd like that new intro. I think it's so cute. But anyway, first step is priming your skin. But the only way to prime your skin properly is to know your skin type. So for me, I have to wake up and I have to, when I wash my face, I put on an oil, and then I put on a moisturizer because I have super dry skin, and if I don't, my skin will be crackling all day. I'll feel disgusting all day. I have to do those steps, and sometimes I don't have to wash my face in the morning. I know it's the worst, I should, but sometimes I just don't. It's still, my face is still dry, waking up, going outside, all that stuff. So I really need to moisturize. That is non-negotiable, the moisturizing. So I think, get out a pen and paper, get a notepad, get a sticky note, something, and I would write down your skin type. So you could have dry skin, you could have oily skin, you could have combination skin, where your skin is dry and half your face, and then your T-zone is super oily. You can have combination skin, like in some months your skin is dry, some months your skin is oily. Honestly, it really depends on you and your skin type. And if you don't know your skin type, personally what I would do is, one, go to a Sephora and Ulta or something and ask. For me, the reason why people don't know things is because they don't ask. I think I don't know, it's just forbidden against. You don't ask, you just know, but some people don't know. So I would ask, number one. And if that doesn't work, or if they're I don't know, they'll give you something to do. They'll say, well, does this happen, whatever. But I also think that if you want to just go to bed without putting anything on your face, take a shower, get out of the shower. If you're someone with dry skin, you will know you have dry skin because your skin will be I feel like it's dehydrated, honestly. But go to bed, wake up, see what your skin is like when you do that naturally. No product, nothing. Don't put any moisturizer, don't put any lotion. Just go to bed, just wake up, just do it normally and see what your skin is like. So if your skin, obviously if your skin has its natural oils, then you're probably more oily. If your skin is dehydrated, which mine would be, then you obviously have dry skin. If you're not sure, honestly, my skin used to be a little bit more combination, and as I got older, it got to be more dry. And so that's possible. If your skin is more combination, then you kind of are lucky. You're one of the lucky ones. But it could change. So I would just kind of test it out that way. I'm not going to do too many recommendations for this video if I don't have one that is set in stone, the best of the best. So for primers and stuff, I obviously don't know what's best for oily skin or combination skin, but and I do know what I'd like for my dry skin, but it's not necessarily the best of the best or the cheapest either. And so I don't want anyone to feel like they have to buy these products to have this makeup routine. So for certain steps, I might not have something to recommend, but for other steps I will. I also do a lot of reviews on my channel in general, so I felt like it was okay to not mention specific products, really, just because I do so many reviews. If you want to check something out, go check out my channel, and I just don't want to be here all day, basically. If you are someone who wants to try if you have an e.l.f. in your Target, your Walmart, this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer on the go. If you want to go ahead and try this, I would see if your skin responds well to this. I this is not my favorite primer, but I really think a lot of people do like it, so I would try it. So I like a primer like that, hydrating, but I also like an oily kind of primer. So if you just want to see, if you really want the products, they'll be listed down below, but I'm not going to talk too much about them. But I love an oily kind of prime essence vibe, and so it just makes my skin glowy, nice. I love that glow on my skin. So if you're someone who has dry skin, you're gonna want something hydrating, something glowy. If you don't have to, obviously. If you want just something glowy, then go for the glow. If you want just something hydrating, go for the hydration. There's very many primers that don't have both. But if you're someone who's oily skin, a lot of people enjoy mattifying primers, pore filling primers, any of those. If you're a dry skin kind of person, I would stay away from the mattifying primers. They're gonna suck the oils out of your life. And if you have dry skin, you don't have any oils in your skin, and it's gonna be really uncomfortable. I stay far away from anything that says matte, honestly. Combination skin, you kind of have the freedom to choose. So you want to go matte, you can try something matte, you can try something dewy, hydrating, anything like that. You kind of have free range. A lot of people I know will put on a hydrating foundation and then put a mattifying one in their T-zone, or put a pore filling one in their T-zone. I can't even use pore filling stuff because I feel like it's not hydrating enough. But if you're someone who has hydrating skin and huge pores, go for the pore filling, like hydrating combination kind of vibe. Don't be afraid to mix and match. Some people are like in their brains, you have to use one and that's it. It's not true. If you want to buy 2 primers that do different things, go for it. It's your face, your makeup, your money. Just go for it. And I feel like that helps a lot, especially like my skin. I love to use 2 primers. Oh, love it. Love to mix and match. I just realized I'm gonna be like talking every time I do mention a product. If I do, it's gonna be e.l.f., but e.l.f. is like the best drugstore brand, so like why not? But just so you know, e.l.f. is like my favorite. I would try that first if you're trying to test out any version of makeup anywhere. Okay, so for foundation, again, it's one of those things that depend on your skin type. I like to put on a hydrating primer and something like really glowy, like I'm glowing right now, and then I like to put on a more satin to moisturizing foundation. So I stay away from matte. It still dries out my skin even if I have a primer on. I don't put on matte. So it's kind of like almost a little bit intimidating if you're looking at something and you're going, wait, I just put on hydration and then I'm gonna put on more hydration, and then like every step is more hydration because I have dry skin. But isn't that just, then it's too much? And honestly, the answer is no. Like once you step outside, your skin is like whoosh. If you have dry skin, oh my gosh, like I've experienced it bad. And some days I have to fix my routine for every season because it's bad. It gets bad. And so I think like don't be afraid of that, to put layer up on the hydration if you have dry skin, layer up on the mattifying if you have oily skin. It's all about you and your skin type, and I stress that like so much because some people, like, you always want what the people are using. You're like, oh, this is the cheapest, I'm just gonna buy this, you know? But it's honestly, it might not work for you. And even though it is cheap or everyone has it, it might not work for your skin type. So just knowing your skin type is probably key to a flawless foundation routine, flawless makeup routine, anything like that. So my favorite is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. It actually is a satin finish. So those of you who with oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, you all can try this. It is medium coverage. So I'll show you what that is in a second. So right now I just put on the smallest little pump, and this is light coverage. You can see everything underneath. It really did nothing but add a little bit of tint. I'm using the e.l.f. sponge with it, and it's my absolute favorite. I feel like you can use a sponge or a brush to get some flawless makeup. This is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I know, so much e.l.f. They're both very amazing. You know what? I'll just switch to using one on one side and one on the other. They both make flawless makeup. I feel like a sponge does it better for a lot of foundations. There are some foundations where I'm like, I need a brush. But there are some where I feel like the sponge is just 10 times better. So just to get it to its like fullest potential, I'm gonna add another pump on the sponge, and then we just dab it in. And now we have a more medium coverage over here on this side. And sometimes too, the brush, depending on your preferences, if you like something super full coverage, a brush sometimes gives you more coverage because it doesn't soak up as much as a sponge does. But again, it really depends. It really depends. that's a huge thing too, is that people like, don't just assume you have to have a full coverage or medium coverage. Read the bottle, see what it says, see what the packaging says, see whatever it says. If it doesn't say it, then look it up online, or ask the person who, like, ask someone at the store. Don't be afraid, because you don't want something full coverage if you're not someone who likes full coverage. I don't like full coverage at all. I like medium to light coverage, honestly. I love BB creams, CC creams, the whole nine, because I like that, like, glow from within, natural makeup days kind of vibe. And so it really depends on you and your preferences. And so I think that's another huge thing. Maybe writing down on that sheet of paper that you have, writing down and saying, okay, well, you know what, I hate full coverage, or I love full coverage because I want to cover everything. And writing that down, and so making sure the next time you go buy a foundation, you're looking for that stuff, looking for your preferences. A BB cream and a CC cream, honestly, couldn't tell you the difference. If I find like a comparison, I'll put it on the screen here. But honestly, they're both just really light coverage hydrating foundations. So they're like, they show everything underneath. They really cover nothing, but they give you a nice glow, and they make your skin pretty even, and that's basically like the point of them. And so I love a good BB cream, CC cream. If you're one, try it, test it out. Again, there are some BB creams that say mattifying. So again, read the bottle, make sure you're getting the right one for your skin type. If you want to try a BB cream and you're scared that it's going to be too hydrating, find one that says mattifying, because there are some there. I'm thinking of CoverGirl off the top of my head. I know for sure. My wad of my favorite concealers. I don't even know what to show you, because I love them all. Again, concealers is based on your preference. Same kind of deal. More hydrating under eye, more mattifying under eye. For me, again, I stay away from mattifying, but I go between full coverage, medium coverage, and light coverage kind of concealers. I obviously have a lot, but I like a good range of them, so I like to test and try them. Just different ones here. Elf has two, actually. They have their 16-hour Camo concealer, which is more mattifying. If you are someone with oily skin, you go ahead and try this one. And then if they have their Elf Hydrating Camo concealer, which they just came out with, oh my gosh, it is so amazing. So I would try this one if you have more dry skin. I absolutely love it. The shade medium beige in this, and so it is just amazing. It is so hydrating, so nice, but it also gives you like medium coverage to build. You can build it up a little bit more. Okay, so I forgot to talk about this in the beginning, but we'll just talk about it now. A lot of people have a concern with finding their shade. Honestly, what I like to do, and I am not the best, honestly, I'm the worst at finding my shade. Lots of trial and error. It takes me like an hour to pick a foundation in the store, because I'll go get one that I know was pretty close to my skin. Like if the e.l.f. foundation is at Ulta, I'll grab the one that is closest to my skin, go hold it up, look at, like, I'm crazy about that. But I honestly think if you go to Sephora and say, I want a free sample of this foundation, they will shade match you and give you that sample. If you want to say, like, what is your most hydrating, like, I don't know, just ask them, or most mattifying foundation that you think is the best. Okay, I want to try that one, and they'll tell them to shade match you. They'll pick your shade, they'll match you, and then they give you a little bottle that lasts a couple of days, a little tub. Honestly, if you want to go there, try that foundation, pretend, don't buy a high-end foundation, and go to the drugstore and like match your foundation. I would do that. Or I'd like go to someone and say, like, I don't know my shade in this, like, can you help me? I have this little sample. I'd go to Ulta or do that, and go to someone at Target, Walmart, anything like that. Like, people, don't be afraid to, like, if you're spending, it's your money, you want the right shade, honestly. And so don't be afraid to go and be like, listen, I just need someone to tell me what my shade is, and then I'm gonna go from there. Because honestly, again, it's your money. And so that's the same with, you can't sample concealers, but if you're going with concealer, you're gonna wanna either go one shade lighter, or one shade, or the same shade as your foundation. You either want to highlight your face, and if you want to highlight like I did, you go a shade lighter than your foundation, if you can see. And if you want to just conceal, you don't want to highlight anything, you just want to cover up stuff more than your foundation did, then go with the same shade as your foundation. Now, concealer is a little bit tricky, but honestly, you'll figure it out. It's not super hard. You just want to hold up the foundation shade you had and kind of compare. There's many things with undertones and a whole lot of stuff we're not going to get into in this video, but just be aware of your undertone, your skin needs. If you have acne, redness, sensitive skin, anything like that, if you have, just write that down on that paper as well, and just be aware of that when you're looking for your foundation. They're not like some foundations will say sensitive skin, some won't, honestly, so I don't worry about that. And some, honest to God, some of these concealers, some of them say peachy undertones, some of them say neutral, some of them say warm undertones. Like it's I don't worry about that too much. Like a little bit, yes, but so if you're someone who has super pink skin, you're gonna know you have a pink undertone, you know. If you have super yellow skin, you're gonna know you have a yellow undertone. It's kind of obvious there, but like warm undertones, cool undertones, they're all just nonsense, and they're just stupid. Let me be honest. So just compare to your foundation, hold it up, girl, go get matched for a foundation from Sephora for free. Go ahead. Next one we're gonna do, so for me, in my dry skin in the winter, something I love to use is creams, and I feel like it just makes my foundation and my base and everything look so flawless because it's not powder on powder on powder. And so if you're someone with super dry skin like me, I'd try this e.l.f. Aqua Infused Duo. I have the shade Bronze Pink Beige, and I'm just gonna use the bronzer. It is absolutely stunning. I just use a stippling brush, dip it in there, and blend it on my cheeks. I feel like because I'm adding more creams, it still gives you the same effect as a powder, but it just doesn't look as heavy or dry on my skin, in my dry skin. If I were to walk outside right now, which I'm not gonna do, but if I were gonna, my skin would still feel nice and beautiful, and everything in between. It won't feel dry or anything like that. So if you're someone who has super dry skin and you hate powder or anything, I'd try this cream products. And even if you're someone who had never tried cream products, go with this one. It is so easy, so smooth. It takes you 2 seconds and then you're voila, done. I love a good cream product. And this is kind of your preference. What shades do you like for yourself? Do you like a more cool tone? So for a cool tone shade, if you want to contour and chisel out your cheeks, which we'll do in a little bit, you want to go with a cool tone shade like this, which is a little bit more ashy, a little bit more gray. It'll just chisel out your face and give you like the natural glow, the natural like chisel, and make you look thinner, all that jazz, everything you want. If you just want to bronze up your skin, kind of like I did, I'd go with something a little bit more warm toned like this one. So warm tones is a little bit more almost orangey red. Don't buy an orange bronzer, but I just mean like you can see the difference in here in the bronzers. This one's a little bit more cool tone, this one's more warm tone, for anybody confused between cool tone and warm tones, if you want to see that. So this one's contour, this one's bronze. Cream product is more of a bronzer on me and my skin tone, just so you know. Alright, so next we're gonna do some powder. So I do like to powder my skin. I like to take a sponge, honestly, and take whatever powder I'm using and set my under eyes with it, because I do not want my concealer to budge or crease or anything like that. I stay away from powders that say mattifying on them, because again, I have super dry skin and it's super, and honestly, girls, I don't know what we're gonna do. Because there's not very many powders that don't say mattifying on them. So I would go to, again, your Sephora or Ulta and say, listen, I need something that's not going to dry the life out of my skin. And tell them you are not going to pay $50 for powder. Tell them that you're going to pay the drugstore price, because there are some. And maybe I'll do another video like kind of around that, because honestly, it is so hard to find a powder that is not mattifying, that is not going to dry everything all of the work I just put in. There's not very many powders that won't dry that out. So I have the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder is my all-time favorite. I don't have it right now, but that is my all-time favorite. It does not dry your skin. It just sits so nicely on the skin. So I'd go ahead and try that one. If you're interested in the powder I'm using, it's down below. I know, sorry. Then I also like to let that sit there for a little bit, kind of bake, shake, and bake here. And it looks so pretty with the concealer that you have on, because it sets it, it makes it not crease, but it also still gives it that luminosity that you want, and that almost hydration you want if you have dry skin. If you're someone with oily skin, girl, ask for the matte. Tell them to give you the most mattifying powder. There's so many mattifying powders out there though. Fret not. So then I like to just take my powder and set the rest of my face. This is a huge powder brush that my friend got me, and I'm freaking in love with it. It is amazing. You can get it at TJ Maxx. and just blend, put the powder on everywhere, even on the contour that you just did. I like to hit it on every spot, and then I like to just dust away the powder that I had, move it all around, and then you just get that boom, flawless face. Again, some people don't use powder. That's totally okay. If you're someone who feels like, hey, I don't need powder, don't worry about it, girl. Don't worry about it. You don't have to have powder on your face. And those of you who are like, forget the creams, I want all the powders, again, just go ahead and go with the bronzer or contour. So we're gonna go with this Milani. It's the Silky matte bronzer in the shade Sun Tan. So we're gonna actually go with, do I have a brush? Oh no. This brush is a brush that I got from an Ipsy bag, but it is the smallest little like brush, and I like to just dip it in there and literally just hit it on the outsides of my face. And as you can see, this side just whoosh, snatched, and this side is a little bit more out there, you can see. And so I'll do the same on that side. And look, now I got a nice cheekbone right there. And then same with the chin. If you just want to line your down there, then you also cut that out. And then I like to just hit it on the tips of my hairline, and it kind of brings my forehead in a little bit, not a lot. So that's contour for you, girl. Some people are really heavy-handed with their contour. Go for it. If you want something super contoured, super chiseled, go for it, girl. If you want something, if you don't want to contour at all, not a step you have to do. Not something I do every day. Let's get real. But a step, nonetheless, that is fun. Step that is fun nonetheless. That's what I meant to say. Now here's something that this next two areas are something that is completely personal preference, and that is your blush and your highlighter. Some people like a light highlighter, and honestly your blush preference has nothing to do with your skin type. Let's get real. I feel like your bronzer not so much, but it is a little bit more of your skin tone. Some blushes look better on certain skin tones, but generally it's what you like on yourself. So for blush and highlight, go for it, girl. Whatever you want to try, I would try it. Just obviously be cautious. If you're someone who's darker, a lighter blush isn't going to show up with you, or just it isn't going to work with your skin tone. Just be cautious, you know. If you like a peachy blush, a mauve kind of blush, a pinky kind of blush, I'd go ahead and write that down on your paper, so just so you know your preferences. You can, real quick, I just have two little sample blushes here. I just wanted to show you that you can also, for blush, you can like something a little bit more glowy with a little bit of shimmer. And then you can like something a little bit more matte with no shimmer, like that. So obviously your preferences. That same goes for bronzer. If you like something a little bit more shimmery, a little bit something more matte, whatever you want, girl, go for it. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blush in the shade Mellow Mauve. I feel like it's the best, just neutral, everyday kind of shade for me and my skin tone. So I just love it. It gives the nicest blushing blush from within kind of shade. It has a little bit of sheen to it, but not too much. Ugh, it's absolutely the prettiest. So it's kind of getting old because I've had it for so long, but it is amazing. Again, your preferences. Same for highlighter. Like I said already, it's if you like something more blinding, then slay. Go and work. If you like something more subtle, then go for it. I think, again, it's personal preference. I like to use a fan brush. Some people like to use more of a pencil brush that's skinnier. Whatever you like. I like to hit it on my cheekbones, my brow bone, and all that jazz. My nose, my cupid's bow. Everywhere. I love highlight. Some people don't wear highlighter at all. Again, totally up to you and your preferences. I feel like sometimes the highlighter for me and my dry skin, it just makes my skin look glowy, natural, and not as dry as it feels in moments. So like right now my skin feels really, really nice. If you have oily skin, some people don't want to add anything else that's glowing, shining on their face. Some people are like, absolutely not. So the next couple steps are not really like, has nothing to do with your skin. We will, obviously this is a whole series, so we'll get into some other how-tos in a little bit, like within the next few months, of course, before the end of the year. But I think, again, the key to glowing nice skin for you and your skin type is just knowing your preferences. Do you like a sponge? Do you like a brush? Whatever it is, make it work for you. So the quote for today is, what makes you different makes you beautiful. And it is so true. Never to forget how beautiful you are, and to rock your differences, girl. rock them, work it. That's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this how-to. I hope that it was beneficial to somebody out there. Definitely, if I missed something and you have any questions, comment them down below. Feel free. You could DM me at makeup_marissa612. We can have a little combo if you're confused, anything like that. It was kind of quicker than I expected, but still kind of long. So yeah, if you have a how-to that you really want to know, definitely give me that option down below, all that jazz. If you want to see more how-tos, definitely give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that bell so that you can get notified when I upload those how-tos. And yeah, bye guys. I literally finished the video and I'm like, setting spray, you dingus. So again, this kind of goes with your skin type as well. I feel like a good setting spray that is just meant to set and refresh is something that everyone can benefit from, because it just makes the powder on your skin melt into the skin and live a little, and it makes it look more like skin, more beautiful and more flawless. If you're someone who has oily skin, a mattifying setting spray, perfectly fine. If you're someone who has dry skin, a hydrating primer, mine just literally says hydrating. A hydrating setting spray is where it's at. I love a good setting spray. If you want something, if you feel like your foundation right now is perfect, like you don't need anything more matte, more mattifying, a setting spray that's meant to make your makeup last longer, go for it, girl. Go for it, girl. I feel like this is where like the fun comes in a little bit. You can kind of go anywhere. I love a glowing setting spray. I love a hydrating one. I love one that just makes my makeup set, refresh. I love one that just makes it make longer. I've been all over with the setting spray because I love them. I stay away from mattifying, but other than that, I'm all game. So again, you and your skin type, but I think a setting spray is crucial to making your makeup last all day and make it look beautiful all day. Sometimes after application, give it a couple hours and your skin starts to, like, I don't know, just get funky. And so I feel like the setting spray just locks it in, makes it look beautiful, keeps it in place, does not budge it. So that was just a tip real quick.